Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are listening to this, as always, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Amateur Hour podcast, episode 24 to
Oh,
be precise. I didn't realize we're actually past the milestone now, aren't we? Where most
yeah.
episodes are the top 1% now.
We are in the top 1% of podcasts,
We
apparently.
are officially in the top 1%. And because we're in that, we're going to be obviously putting ourselves in a prestigious club where we're going to be rooting for like the 0.01% now when we get to like episode 124. But we've got a special for you guys today. We were talking about this and obviously having this in the pipeline with PCA Universe happening this weekend. We wanted to bring on some juniors that are competing at the PCA Universe just to delve into their prep, their thoughts and feelings on the juniors standard this year, how their prep's been, their expectation on themselves, how they fulfilled their expectation, going through absolutely everything. And like I said, most of the audience on here, they're not mainly juniors, but I thought we could do a junior special, that we can do like a bodybuilding shorts, but so on and so on and so on throughout the season. We can get specific people who are competing at specific shows in specific classes, and then we can obviously roll through there. So we've got two juniors on that are competing at PCA Universe. We're going to get one of them in right now. Then we're going to get another one in, and then we'll go through our thoughts and feelings on what they've said and everything. And obviously, we can probably relate to them. Because funny enough, I was once a junior, and Connor still is a junior. But Connor's eating his post-workout meal. How was your session there, mate? Good.
Very good session, man. I'm excited to get back to training after a little bit of a deload. So back, new split, upper lower split. So
Oh, mate, we'll talk about that's the goat split. You know that. But
yeah,
here he is. Hopefully, he's going to come in, Mister Cam Young. Hopefully, he's in here very, very soon. My
Yo,
man,
yo.
how are we?
How's it going, guys? All right.
yeah.
Yes, mate. We have just, to be fair, we actually haven't introduced you yet. We just said, obviously, Cam's coming on, but we've gone through PCA Universe. We've gone through juniors this year. And like I said, mate, the reason why we wanted to bring you on was because, firstly, you competed in PCA Universe. You're a junior.
Yeah.
You've already competed this season. But, mate, introduce yourself. How old are you? What shows have you done this? Is it your first time competing? Is it your second time competing, etc., etc.? Give
Yeah.
us a little introduction to yourself, my man.
Sweet. So I'm Cam Young, 23 years old. It's my second season. So I competed 3 years ago as a junior as well. Did a few federations then. I actually did a run of 6 shows back then as well. As the goal was really just to get a lot of stage time. So we did a couple of Fit X shows at the time. I did like an IBFA show. I did two PCA shows. And then from there, obviously went into an off season. Actually had gynecomastia, so that was one of the main feedbacks was I needed to get rid of my gyno. So straight after my shows, I got that booked in for the following year in the March, and then that was kind of like a recovery year, getting the surgery, getting that all ticked off. And then since then, it was like a sort of 1.5 year off season, 2 year off season, leading into this time round where we've done two shows so far, doing the PCA Northwest, which was 3 weeks ago, and then the PCA Northeast, which was 2 weeks ago. So we took
2 weeks
first
ago.
and third. Yeah.
Mate,
Yeah.
that's so you competed 3 years ago. Did this run of
Yes.
6 shows. What have made? What
Yes.
have you learned from this time round, or the first time round compared to this time round?
Yeah. So I think that the main thing I learned from the first time was basically the prep that we did. I think I was in prep something crazy like 39, 40 weeks total, from start to finish. So we'd sort of picked out a couple of shows, and then I just kind of dug that hole. I got very, very lean for the first one. But then after the first show, because I had about 4 weeks to the next one, I did that awful thing where my coach had said, "Oh, you can have 2, 3 days off plan." Ended up putting on, I think, something crazy like 11 kilos in 2 days. It was horrific. It was the worst time ever because it was just them basically trying to chase that look back from where I was. And it just, yeah, it was not the nicest of experiences by the end because it was just like I was so run down. It was such a long prep. So main thing I learned was just basically a shorter prep. Our body doesn't really need that much of a long prep. I think this time around we did about 13 weeks to the first show. And the goal was kind of always to bring a package where we knew it would be that sort of 85, 90%. And then we wanted to get better show on show. We didn't want to have that
Mhm.
coming in for your best and then almost being like, well, where do we go from here? We're only going to be sort of either keeping it as it is and not really being able to show that progression. So I feel like we've definitely done that.
No, definitely, man. I was actually looking through your profile and seeing the look over from 3 weeks ago to
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, and that's what me and Connor said. Where obviously people have mainly got the PCA universe in mind in terms of turning up
Yes.
100% for that. But mentally, how did you sort of deal with the fact of being like first in Northwest and then turning up and coming like third in
Yeah.
Northeast? Whereas like you're thinking, okay, I've looked better. It's been better
Yeah.
than last week, which you were. I highly agree
Yeah.
you were.
100%. Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah.
The look was better, and then you think, now I'm third. Even though the guy that did, obviously, I think the top two guys were very, very good. How did you sort of let that, did it affect you sort of mentally or anything?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, personally, like I say, it was tough on the day. Like I was expecting to come away with another win. So when you don't come away with a win, it's a hard pill to swallow. But at the end of the day, I knew the look was better, and I've seen comparison picks up against the top two, and I'm not worried at all. Like I'm not trying to be big headed or anything, but I've seen
this
the
is
comparisons
class.
against them, and if you look at the end, it's a muscle contest. We're going for muscle, muscle mass. I definitely out muscled them, and it was the condition, which was the one area that was holding back a little bit. And definitely, we knew my lower back wasn't 100% in. We knew we got a little bit more to come off there, and we knew my midsection wasn't 100% tight and crisp. So it was kind of like, well, those are the areas to improve. So I knew that in the 2 weeks that we've got, we were going to make massive improvements. And at the end of the day, they couldn't really get any better because their package was, they couldn't get any more condition out of where they are. We're going to be able to turn up on Sunday with a lot more mass, but also now the matched condition across the board. So yeah, I feel like it's going to be a really good look.
Now this is good, and this is the reason why I wanted to do it. Not because at the end of the day, mate, you're not coming across like anything. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
like you want to know that you're coming in better, which you are.
yeah,
And
no,
I think that's the mistake that you've learned from your first prep, where you came in 100% for the first show.
yes,
Next thing you know, you had 4 weeks, and then so it's
yeah,
good that you gradually made the look better in terms of we can get a little more off. We can get a little
yeah,
more off. So in terms of obviously you're digging more, you're actually putting yourself in a position where you're getting slightly fresher because obviously you're going 85, and then you're peaking at 100% then, rather
yeah,
than getting to 100% and then trying to sort of like chase the look in terms of keeping
yeah,
it alive.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we're gonna go. We're gonna go through your shots this morning, mate.
yeah,
So
sweet.
as you can see here, which by the way, liked it for you. This is a great look, mate. Great
Yeah.
look. And I looked at you compared to the last time round of when you were 4 days out, and
Yeah.
you're definitely, I think you're around, I think it's like 2 weeks out. I think it might be 4 days
If you go on that,
out here. Show day, no.
the one that's got the black background, that's 3 days out from
Okay.
yeah, that's 3 days out there, so you can see I'm a hell of a lot leaner. That was from the first show, so that
Mhm.
was 3 days out, 4 days out from the first show there, something around that.
And I would say, considering you're in downlights in there, this is you this morning.
Yeah,
I would say you're in a much better position because you're just as lean, but you look far fuller as well. And it's like I said, mate, it's in like more natural lighting. So I was
yeah,
looking at this and I was thinking, you are looking in a better position where, like I said, you've not only got a little bit more condition, but you look fresher in terms of looking fuller as well. So you've definitely peaked towards the top of the right
yeah,
time. It's good, which is
yeah,
a mistake what a lot of juniors make, where they dig for the first show like you did for the first
yeah,
time round, and they think, okay, I need more, but they don't look at the long term trajectory of the universe is the number one show that you want to aim for around this period of time. So getting more more data gathered through doing the northwest, the northeast, therefore peaking you properly for the universe. But then I was looking through your post, mate, and what happened here? There was like something going
yeah.
on where like
So
you might have
yeah,
pulled out of breath. So do you
so
want to just talk through that?
yeah, basically after the Northeast show, the following day, I picked up like a viral stomach bug, gastroenteritis, I think it's called, which basically just means you're shitting out of both ends for like it was like 6 days straight. So it was pretty rough. Now that was last week, but the maddest thing was we dropped 11 pounds in 3 days. So we were like, right, this isn't,
It's a win.
yeah, it was kind of like 11 pounds a little much, but we regained about 4 or 5 pounds by the time I could start eating again because I couldn't eat anything at all over those 3 days. And then we checked in that Saturday, so like sort of 6 days post getting ill, and we were just drier, like leaner, like literally everything we wanted to do from doing a no carb week, we achieved, but just by being ill. So it was madness because we basically planned we were going to do 0 gram carbs rest days and 50 gram carb train days anyways. And it was like cardio was back up at 90 minutes a day. So we were really going to dig for the week. That was the plan going into the week. I did it on the Monday anyways, and then it was from the Tuesday. Obviously, I was bed bound, but it basically, in a strange roundabout way, we got the look we were after from that. It was madness. So yeah.
I'd be like, yes, mate, no cardio, but 11 pounds down.
yeah. And do you know what though? The mad thing is, it's like it's worked out so well because then it was kind of like, right, we need to just freshen the physique up now. So this last 5 days. I've not been on anything crazy carb wise, but a lot more than what I was on. So like I've been on about 200 grams carbs a day, which has been a lot more than I've been on the most of the prep. And cardio has been just literally like a brisk walk, 30 minutes in the morning, no steps like 10K, which I would just do naturally anyway. So my physique, I feel like that's why it's got a lot of a fresher look at the minute as well, because this last week, it's just I've been able to rest up and I've not been having to sort of dig where you get that. Again, you sort of trying to get that fine line of like not just looking sort of run down and having that, you still want to bring that like fresher sort of look and package to the stage. So yeah, I feel
for
like
sure, man. For sure, I completely agree. And I was thinking, is prep going to be over now? And then I thought 4 days out, I think you're like, okay, I'm doing the PCA universe, which is good, mate. Which is good because I remember me and Connor were talking about the standards of juniors this year, and there's like maybe 3 or 4 juniors that have like stood out this year personally for me.
Yeah,
3 or 4 or 5, and you were definitely one of them. How would you compare like the standard of juniors compared to previous years, and where you sort of think where you're at in terms of what you've seen?
Personally, I think the UK scene, as you guys probably know, is just getting better and better year on year. Really, like it just seems to be getting crazy. Like the standard, not just PCA, obviously other federations like your two bros and stuff as well. When you start to look at the standard across the board, it's just getting so much better. I believe like even the 2 shows I've done this year, you had 6 competitors in the Northwest, you had 7 competitors at the Northeast. I already know of about, I want to say at least 10 who are competing on Sunday. As long as the couple that I know are doing the qualify the day before, obviously qualify through, which I'm sure they will. So you're talking, it's stack lineups, and there's a lot more competitors coming in, which is great. And the standard of these competitors, for the most part, is very, very good. You do get your odd competitors who you sort of think, have they even dieted and stuff like that, which are kind of a bit like, but it does happen, and that's across all classes. You get the odd one, but I do feel like the standard. I mean, you see some people now. I don't know if you've watched the PCA Island show, but like there was people going there who were just, the physiques were phenomenal. Not in the junior, just across the board. And I mean, they were placing like 3rd and 4th, and these are people who are like winning 2 bro shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Really
the Irish standard is very, and people don't realize when I went over to Ireland last year, the standard over there is ridiculous, and the natty scene as well. The natty scene improved, but it is ridiculous over there. But I completely agree. The standard has improved massively. There have been a few shows where I'm thinking, looking at the juniors, I'm thinking, like you said, are they actually dieted now?
Yeah.
But with the overall standard of like the PCA universe and the 10+ guys going there, give us an honest opinion of where you think you will be. Top 5. What's the goal?
That was the goal. So before the season started, I kind of had some numbers in my head. It was always win. I wanted to obviously win a qualifier, so we ticked that one off. And then the universe, it was always, for me, it was top 5. My coach believes and always has believed I'm definitely should be in the mix for top 3. He's always said, 100%, I don't see why not. I see like with your physique, you've got, very balanced physique. As long as we bring the condition with the muscle mass, we should be sort of fighting around that top 3. But yeah, top 3, top 5, 100%. Like I'm going there and I'm hoping, obviously I want to win. Like that is the goal, is to win. But it's such a prestigious show, and you don't even know, there could potentially be some overseas athletes going as well. You could get a couple of Spanish jump in, you might have a few or whoever. So there may be some. It's for me. I just want to bring my best package possible, and I know that is very likely to happen now. Bar any crazy last minute slip ups, I know that I'm the best I'm going to be, and as long as I step on that stage on Sunday, I know that I've not missed a meal, I've not missed a section, I've done everything I can towards this show over the last 18 weeks. Then I'm happy, and that's all I can bring. So yeah, man. But top 5 would be awesome, little cherry on top as well. Yeah, top 5, top 3. That's definitely
love it, man. That's all you can do, and that's where I think that's something that within juniors, I think when juniors see people who have competed at competitive people, sorry, like seasoned competitors who have competed for years and
Yeah.
years and years. They come top three all the time, but
Yeah.
they don't look at where they first started. They look at people who,
Yeah.
like, they started off and they didn't even place in a show, and then they have that sort of expectation of looking where they are now, and then they go, "Oh, well, yeah, I came sixth in my first show."
Yeah.
Bloody hell! But then
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where juniors have that expectation they need to be first, they need to be. But as long as we're
Yeah.
bringing the best package that we can bring,
That's it, man.
that's all that we need to do.
So,
I think
yeah.
that's so important to reiterate as a junior, especially because we look at like people like yourself, Connor, who do really, really well, and they go, "Oh, look at this! I want to be like him." They
Yeah.
come fifth, sixth. How they gonna how they gonna act? It's just one of those. But no, it's good, mate. It's good that you are confident in a good way, but also as well understand that as long as you can bring your best, as long as you
Yeah.
do bring your best, and you don't.
That's why it was like, at the end of the day, I got the pictures after the Northeast show, and yes, I come away. You're going to, in the moment, you're going to feel upset about it, but I come away from the show and I was like, hang on a second. If anything, it relit a fire for me even more, because I was like, a fucking third place. I don't want third. I don't want to hear third. You want to hear first. And I knew the look was improved. So I was happy with how I would peaked better. The physique, everyone would told me, there was people who've been at both my shows and says you were 100%, 5 to 10% better, which was the goal. So we ticked that goal off, and it just lit that fire. So it was like, well, fucking let's bring it. Let's get another 5, 10% better for this universe show. Why not? So yeah, man, it was definitely
I
helped.
better fully back it, mate. It's going to be good to see you come Sunday. It's
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
be
I
good.
can't wait.
What is there anything you've done differently this show? With obviously, I know you mentioned that you pulled cardio down, pulled steps down, but are
Yeah,
you and Hilly? Because I know you're coached by Hilly, aren't you?
yeah, Hilly dot, yeah, yeah.
So, what have you done anything differently, or have you sort of gathered the data that you need from the first two peaks to be like, okay, this is what we're doing this time round, or is
Yeah,
it just is there
we're
anything
pretty. Yeah,
differently?
we like we say in terms of we know peak for my body. So we've actually started the carb up today. So I've been 3 days out now. Thursday, not that heavy. We know that basically with my body, we just need to do a couple of moderate days and then really just dry out on Saturday. So we've got like, I think it's 450 gram carbs today. Hilly's very, very attentive and very much likes to go off of looks and weights and stuff like this. So tomorrow's will be based on how I look when I wake up. And then every sort of 2-3 meals, he likes to get me to check in again and also give him a weight so he can actually see the look. And then he'll determine, depending on how I look, right, we're going to put X amount of carbs in.
That's the best way to do it, in my opinion, because you can't be. Yeah, here's 800 carb. Like, how can you do, like unless you've done like trial peak weeks and high, but then everything's going to change in terms of like you might be a little bit more different in terms of how sensitive you are because you just come back from an illness, you're doing less, like all these different things, mate. So it's like meal by meal.
A couple of other things that have changed as well. So we have changed my tan. Now I don't know if you've noticed. Obviously, I was a bit lighter than everyone else on the shows. I was using the Dream Coat. Was it sorry, Dream Tan?
Dream Tan.
Yeah, like Dream Tan stuff. So I was using that just purely because Hilly's always been a fan. I don't know. Do you know? You'll know Riz the engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Riz. Yeah. So Riz, he's obviously used to be coached by Hilly, and we're quite close. So Riz was also a big fan and says, look, we'll sort of go down the Dream Tan route and we'll try that this time around. So we did the Dream Tan, but I think we've learned from that the judges just like you to be the same as everyone else. So rather than having that being a potential factor, I've changed the tan. So I'm just getting the top coat and everything done by the lady, like the team there. So that'll just take the stress away as well. It means I just turn up and they do it all. And then as well, I felt like when we went to the Northeast show, Hilly was very much like, to hit poses, kind of, the way that a pros would hit a pose. Say like when Nick Walker was on stage at the New York, he knows he's got the best back double, so he's almost looking at Martin, being like, "Come on, then hit yours, and then I'll show you mine after," sort of thing. But I was kind of trying to show that like level of confidence on the stage. But I think with the PCA, it's very much a case of get in your pose and hold it for as long as you can. Don't fuck about like messing on, because I felt like I was about to hit my back double, waiting for them to get in them, and then being like, "Well, look at mine." And then they were calling the next shot out, and I was like, "Fuck, I've not even showed them." So I've also now very much just going to be a case of no fucking messing about. I'm going to be getting in the poses from the first one in. I'm going to be holding it the longest. I know that I'm very good at holding my poses, and I'm confident in my poses. And then also just the transitions between poses, I've just been working very, very hard on keeping the core tight every single shot and just making sure we have that real smooth transition pose to pose. So yeah, I feel like posing is definitely going to be better as well, which is only going to benefit me,
Mate, can't wait to see it, man. Honestly,
Yeah,
I'll be
man.
at the end. I'll be at my phone looking where all the juniors play. So, mate,
Yeah.
nah, it's good. I know you have to shoot off very soon, mate. So, mate, I appreciate you coming on. It means
Yeah,
a lot.
thanks for having me on, guys. Really
Appreciate you
good.
going
It's
through
good. Really
your
good.
past experiences, what you've learned from your experience, what you're doing this time around, your expectations, all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff, mate. It's good to have you on. And like I said, mate, it'll be good to see where you land. But we know that you're going to be bringing the best physique, which, like you said, is the best thing.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
The best you possible, mate. But like I said, thank you for coming on, mate. I'm sure I'll have you on again because I think
Yeah,
it'll be like
absolutely.
a little bit of a round off, maybe, or something. But like I
Yeah,
said,
let
mate,
me know. Like I say, I'm game to come back on. Like, that'd be great, man. I had a good time. So thanks
Yeah.
for having me,
mate,
guys.
I appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Cheers,
much.
guys. Awesome.
Thank
And
you.
good luck on Sunday as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Okay. Cheers.
Anyway,
Catch you later, guys. Bye, 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 bye.
mate, what do you
Mentality.
think?
That's
What a
a
gut.
very good mentality to have. That's wicked. That's really good to see, mate.
But mate, I think that's exactly what every mental like, you come in with, okay, I did this, this is what I need to learn, this is what I need to this is the
Yeah.
mistake I made, this is what I'm gonna do for next time. I
But then
want to be the best.
it goes all the way back to his first prep, fucking 3 years ago. So it's like I think people kind of just think short term with that stuff, and it's like, oh, you got to think from the beginning. Like, what did you do back then that didn't work? Longer prep, fucked it up. Shorter prep, which is I was thinking in my head, I was like, well, that's exactly what I was doing. Like my prep that I just did was too long, fucked up my body. Shorter prep next time. It's what he's done, and it works a treat for him. So it's cool. It's cool analyzing things like that, going back that far. And yeah, with a mentality like that, dude, like the confidence is wicked to see.
But the reason why he's confident is because he knows, like he said, that he's done everything he possibly can do. Like
Exactly.
you can't be confident knowing that you're not nailing your pose and you're looking at your weaknesses, you're looking at where to improve. And that's the reason why he's confident. So it's not arrogance, it's confidence
No.
knowing that he's bringing the best that he can do, which is good. But we're gonna get another guy in here in a second. I've actually seen him compete. He actually competed in the PCA Scotland show. He's a Scottish guy
Where did he
himself.
play in Scotland?
Pardon?
Where did
He
he play?
placed third. So you had Freaky Matt, Lewis, and then you had Logan. So Logan is coming on now. He has done Granite City, he has done PCA, and he has done NFM UK as well. But I'm sure we'll get him to introduce himself, and we'll go from there. And then afterwards we'll
And
talk
he's
about
doing the universe, yeah.
he's doing the universe, and this will be his last one. Like I said, I think so. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see.
Cool. Big man.
Hello, boys. How are we?
Yes. Good evening, Logan, my man. How you doing, mate? Got the Granite City top on as well. Love it.
Of course, I had to represent.
Love that, mate. Well, we've just had one junior on who you're competing against on Sunday. So we thought we'd get you on as well, mate. So thank you for coming on. Introduce yourself, go through, obviously, what you've done this year. Is it your first time competing? And just give us basically a little introduction of yourself, mate, and then we'll go through your competitive season, basically ask you how your prep has been so far. And we'll go into all the little nitty-gritties and all that sort of stuff.
Sweet. So I'm Logan. I'm originally from Aberdeen. I moved to Bathgate halfway through prep, which was 5 weeks out, which was really nice. But I did get to train at Flex Unit, so that's also good. I'm sure you made a trip over there, didn't you, Tom? But yeah,
Mate, I was going to in the end, but I was in Glasgow. And then I want to go down. I was thinking it's half an hour to literally Flex Unit, and then half an hour back. I'm not even going to.
You'll need to come, mate. It's such a good gym, by far the best gym in Scotland, I think. But yeah,
Mate, I agree.
So with regards to my prep, so this was my first prep. The reason for doing it was kind of like I sort of thought that I turned 24 in about 2 months' time, and I thought if I'm going to compete and I want to be competitive, I'm not just there to take part, I guess. I want to do it where I will be. So it was either as a junior now or leave it 2-3 years to go and compete in men's, and I wasn't willing to wait that long. So myself and Cammy, my coach, sort of set plans in place about April last year to get started with prep. Started on the 20th of November. So as of this weekend, it'll be 27 weeks from start to finish, which is great. So obviously I wasn't that fat. So as you imagine, it wasn't a super long prep in terms of like from start of prep to the first show, but maintaining it for 7 weeks in between times was a good fun. So yeah, first show, obviously I competed against your boy Lewis at the Granite City Classic. That was a local show, and took second in that, which I was happy. Lewis brought a fucking nailed on package, so yeah, it was good. I learned a lot of lessons from that, and straight into the week after again against Lewis. Got beat by him again. Got a much better look anyway, I think. And I think, to be quite frank, myself and Kami said it afterwards, like, well, first and foremost, we were quite timid with how we went in the first prep, just the first show, just because we'd never peaked before. So we didn't really, like, yourself, you can't really know what's going to happen if you've not been in that situation before. So we were quite conservative. And then knowing where we sort of sat with fullness and whatnot, we knew we could come in a good bit fuller, came in about 5 pounds heavier the week after at PCA. And I think it was a much better look.
No, it definitely was, mate. It definitely was a better look. Obviously, I didn't see you at Granite Sea. It's a show that I wish I went to, and I will be going there. But
Yeah.
from what I saw, mate, you were definitely full. And I looked at you at where you were at Granite Sea, and then I looked at you at PCA, and I was thinking he's definitely better at PCA, which is always good, mate.
Yeah.
But it's good to actually you going through this prep, because the first guy come on is his second season, and he
Yeah.
said his biggest mistake that he made was his prep was too long. And then you're coming up here saying, for first prep, it's 27 weeks, holding the look. He said, oh, so it's quite a good contrast here, actually. So, honestly, carry on. After the PCA, you ended up doing, was it the NFM UK show?
So I did NFM on the Saturday, which was Saturday 27th, and then did UKUP on the Sunday, which I don't know what to talk about, because so I did NFM. I really liked my look there. I think it wasn't quite as hard as PCA, so I was a little bit annoyed, but it was a very good look. I was still happy with it, but we just didn't carry over the look very well into the Sunday, because we obviously shot so hard for Saturday, was nailed on for the circumstances given on the Saturday, given the Sunday. Matan, trying to wash that off and put that back on, I think that was probably the shittest part of it, to be honest. Matan just didn't look good. An hour before I got on stage, I was posing for Kami, and I looked at his face, and usually he's got quite a poker face, but I could kind of see, like, this doesn't look right. And then he ended up throwing a good bit of carbs at me, a good bit of water at me, and we managed to bring a good bit of fullness and have a good bit of life back to it. But again, came second there to Connor, and he looked by far his best look so far this season. I'd already beat him twice, so it was a bit of a better one. But I mean, I'm good pals with him, so
But mate, how have you found that though? Because obviously I know you're good pals with Connor, and you both coach for the same guy. But mate, we can be honest here. If I'm coached by Connor, or sorry, if I'm coached by the same guy as Connor, right, and we're on the same sort of level, obviously it won't never fucking happen. And he keeps beating me, mate, and I'm there like I finally get a win over him, mate. I'd be absolutely gassed.
Yeah.
Mate, I'd be over the moon. So how did you find it? Like, even though you could make, like, mate, you just beat me, and I've just beaten him twice.
I was happy for him initially. I think initially I was just really pissed off, but I think I was more so just pissed off myself. I think had I looked as good as I did the day before, I would have probably won that show the next day. So I think part of it was like, not that I'd beat myself, but maybe I'd bitten off more than I could chew doing back-to-back shows. It was me that sort of made that decision more than Kami. He was like, if you want to do it, do it. But it was more so just a case that I was like, fuck it, one's half an hour that way and one's 20 minutes that way, so I'll do them both. But again, that's a lesson learned, I guess. Probably the biggest lesson I've learned from this season so far was no more back-to-back shows.
Well, that's what Connor did last year, didn't you, mate? Where you did back-to-back shows. So how did you find it doing like back-to-back?
It's not easy. It is very difficult.
Yeah. I think I like the post show, even just like with a week between Granite and PCA. Obviously, I didn't go and like stuff my face or anything afterwards, but I think the post show, just being able to switch off afterwards, like on the evening, but then having the next day you're going again, you kind of just carry that fatigue on to the next day. It's quite hard to manage, I think, mentally.
Mate, I agree. It's so hard to actually explain how much fatigue you gather from just a show day in general. It's not only like physical fatigue, but like psychological fatigue, like that you're gathering. Like, mate, I remember coming off my stage for the first time, and I didn't even drink anything till about 9 p.m. because I was just like so fried. My bro, I remember Christian telling me to drink shots, and I was just like completely out of it. I was completely spaced, and it's like you can't explain it, can you? It's like you don't think, you're just like there.
I think there's just so much going on throughout the day, like so much mental stimulation, and then also physical. From posing is hard, like posing is really fucking hard, and if they put you through your rounds, you're fucked. Like everything hurts by the end of the day. I remember my knees were killing me, my legs were in pain, and then like just talking to everyone throughout the day. You get home, I think I fell asleep before I even wanted to eat anything. I was like, I just want to go to
I mean,
bed.
that's the same what
Yeah,
happened
I
to
was
me.
the exact same after granite. I got home. I had this like amazing idea of a big bowl of cream of rice. I was like, right, I want like almond butter, dark chocolate, strawberries, bananas, raspberries, everything, all this shit. And then I got home and I just sat on the sofa and I was like, I can't be asked moving. I fell asleep for like
Yeah.
half an hour. I did
Mate,
anything.
this is what happens though, man. It's so hard to explain that. I've obviously not done back-to-back shows, but I know how fatigued you are after a show day. And imagine like trying to like, because you get that sort of like switch off where it's like, okay, I can chill out now. But mate, imagine like having to go home, worry about your tan, getting the tan off, getting your stuff ready for the next day, making sure all your food's prepped, all your like, because you're going straight back to back. So it's like you get off stage and then you're straight onto like sort of peaking for the next show,
Yeah.
essentially.
As well as that, the one thing you'll consider as well is that you go from loading into one show and then you've obviously loaded quite a good bit of carbs into that first show on the Saturday per se. Then come the Saturday evening, sorry, you got fuck all to eat. I was carb free the rest of the evening because I can't just fill myself with carbs and be a big water buffalo the next day.
No, man, it is hard. I was gonna say that mentally it's probably quite hard as well, where it's just like you're instantly back to diet, instant. Like a couple hours later, you're like, okay, cut your fluid or whatnot, or what, get loads of fluid down you, and then cut your fluid by the end of the night, and then you could be doing loads of different things where you just don't get that sort of like switch off, which is
It's
yeah, it's
especially if you've done shows earlier in the season where they're not back to back and you're used to that or have
Mhm.
already experienced that, getting off stage, being able to drink as much as you want, get fucking hydrated again,
Yeah.
rather
I
than going straight into fucking getting ready for tomorrow. It's
Yeah,
difficult.
it was weird because I went off the back of PCA where Cami was really, really happy with third out of the 10. I was pretty chuffed considering the two that beat me were Matt, who's fucking 108 kilos, by the way. So what the fuck? And Lewis, I think I was happy with the standard of the guys as well as the guys in fourth, fifth, sixth. We're all good
mate. The
lads.
guy in fourth, Ross, was
Yeah,
really.
he was
It was
very
like
good.
and yeah, and I'll happily say it was a bit of a toss up between you
Yeah,
guys because he came in like nailed on, and I was thinking I thought he was sort of like pushing Lewis at some point as well in some shots, and then
yeah.
I was thinking second, third, and fourth. But then I think the overall shape and structure, but you've got like shape and conditioning wise, they sort of push that rather than just like what
Yeah,
Ross
I
brought.
think he had quite comfortably a good bit more muscle than I did. I just think without blowing my own trumpet, I think I had a bit of a prettier physique just to show there, and I think condition was better as well. I honestly think I would say I've seen you go over it afterwards on the podcast before. And I think individually, like the individual videos, when you're not side by side, I think he honestly does look better than me in those videos. But I think when you go back and look at the professional photos, I do think that I deserved the third place there.
Oh
But I do.
no, yeah, I agree. I agree. And like when Lewis came out, I was thinking, mate, he looks. Matt came out, and I was thinking, obviously, an absolute freak. But when Lewis came out, he looked more pretty to look at, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then when you look at everyone compared, I do agree that you deserve to come. But then when Ross came out, like when he's by himself, he just looked bigger because obviously he's not compared to anyone. But then I do believe that obviously the structure and the condition that he brought was just more balanced to what he had. So the placings were good. In my, like, you
Yeah,
deserve third. But how would you rate this season? Obviously, you've got nothing back to compare to, like, but I would say that I would happily look at my first season and be like, okay, well, I did really, really well for what I could do. So
I think.
after Sunday, what do you think? Could you sit down and be like, am I happy?
Yeah, I think I am happy. I think I after UKUP, I think knowing that I couldn't have finished it then, I was in a fucking shit mood, and I was kind of like throwing my toys out the pram. I was still obviously doing everything I need to do and not cheating on my diet and none of that shit. But like I was like I just kind of threw my toys at the pram and was like, what was the fucking point in this? And then
Connor beat me. God's sake.
yeah, exactly.
Teammate beat me.
I know you're supposed to be there to like help me, no? But yeah, so I think I kind of I was supposed to do two rows 2 weeks after that. So that would have been 2 weeks ago, and then obviously into this as well, the universe this weekend. And I think I was going to do that, but I think I was in such I wanted some time to like let the fatigue sort of go away mentally and physically. And I think that managed it, despite the fact it's been obviously a long prep, it's 27 weeks all in, as I say. I still think that allowing myself that time there gave me time to first of all reflect on the season so far, and second of all, sort of get myself in a position where we had 4 weeks of just purely just ready for the universe. It wasn't off the back of the two bros 2 weeks and let's adjust from here. So I think all in, I'm pretty chuffed. I think the most of the feedback and everything I've got has been a case of I need more muscle, and I think that's fine.
Mate, it's the best feedback you can get, mate. It always is. Like, as a junior, if you get up to see, you've got the structure for it. You just need more muscle. In my opinion, that's the best. You just need to go away, get fucking big, and then come back. Like, that's all it is. And that's my
Realistically,
opinion.
if they tell you you're not lean enough, or you're not like you haven't come in condition, that's something that you have messed up on.
Yeah.
I
Whereas
agree.
if you're not big enough, that's expected. Like you're a junior. Do you know what I mean? You're not
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
Mr. Olympia. So it is the best feedback you can get as a junior.
Yeah, exactly. I've done everything I need to do. Cami has been fucking nailed on as well. So like, I mean, communication between me and him, I think, has been so good as well. I felt good. Like I've not felt any reason to sort of let anything slip. So because I haven't, and because I brought the best I could, I know that like, yes, I could have gone a lot of upper half, but it is what it is. I think I'm happy that I went on stage and for the most part had the biggest legs on every single stage as well, which was
Mate,
nice.
I agree. I agree, mate. We're just gonna we'll show the I'll try and get you up in a second with your shots, mate. From I think you got some post-workout shots, haven't you, from today?
I do, I do. I can send them across to
Oh
you.
yeah, mate. It's all good. It's all good, mate. We've got this. We can share the screen here. But this is you today.
Yeah, that was
This is you today, mate. Looking, what is it? Post-workout, 3 days out, fasted. Sorry, no
was less
change from yesterday. 5:45 carbs on the menu today. So, what have you done differently this peak compared to previous ones?
so,
Especially, what have you done differently, mate?
so the first peak for granite we front loaded just because again we're playing it quite conservative. Being the size and weight I am, sort of the anticipation was that I wasn't going to need that much food. Turns out I did. um, I had
Mhm.
I had like 700 grams of carbs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and still had like 300-400 the rest of the week, all the way through until show. But knowing that looked probably the best come like Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, it was a case that we're going, right, well, we definitely need to backload this going into PCA. So that's exactly what we did. Then after PCA, went for Five Guys because we had that time off. As I say, Cammy was happy with it. Could put on a bit more water than I wanted and it wouldn't shift. So I was carb free almost for the following week, which was loads of fun. Uh, then it was again quite a moderate backload going into NFM, and then again just carrying the look over into UKUP. And then again this week, what we've done is so far. I've been actually in between times, the last sort of like 10 days or so, I've actually wanted to do cardio. So like not just as a little 20-minute dawdle on the treadmill or anything like that. Like it's been 35 minutes or 30 minutes on the stairs and 10 minutes on the cross trainer. And I've enjoyed it purely for the sense that it's allowed me to have a little bit more food and still diet down. And I've managed, I think we've stayed quite fresh despite coming down. Like I've not really run flat at all, despite the fact the water's shifting and I'm coming in tighter and tighter. So again, yesterday and today, both about 550 carbs. And we've not spilled at all. Again, fullness is maintained. Last night, sort of pre-bed, still looked decent. Like obviously there was a little bit of water. Obviously it was 7 liters water deep, but yeah, Luke still maintained quite well. So I assume we'll probably still have some carbs, like a moderate amount of carbs going tomorrow, but not a massive amount. It'll just be a case of sort of drying out into the weekend and just playing it quite nicely. I think the intention was to backload in this week, but because the Luke had just maintained and not really run flat at all and stayed quite nice, it was almost a case of just maintaining this sort of look that we've got at the moment.
No, I rate that. I rate that, mate. There's no point changing it when the look. Once the look's there, the look's there. People
Yeah,
think, oh, if the look's there, but we need to sort of change things. It's probably the worst thing to do. So you might as well just maintain things the way it is, and then just sort of cruise in because it's only going to allow your body to sort of settle and find that sort of homeostatic point of like even getting better and better and better and more comfortable with the amount of food, fluid, and then you can manipulate things, just get better and better and better into the show. So it's only going to get even better for you now, mate. If you're holding the look, it's only going to get better once fatigue comes down and stuff, and you start manipulating a few things. So you'll be absolutely sound, mate. But my man, it's good. It's good, mate. And what's your goal for this weekend?
um, I don't know what to say. No, I've sort of like I think if I'm being realistic with myself, I'm not 108 kilos, so I think maybe if Matt comes in nailed on, I honestly I think I back him to win out of all the juniors I've seen this year.
This
If he
is what I
comes in
mean.
on,
Him compared to see with the north, was it the
yeah,
northeast or northwest?
northeast, yeah, it was northeast. Mate, he looked not as good as he has. He still looked very good, but his tan looked pretty fucked, and he looked tired going into it. I think he'll bring him a better look this weekend. I've got absolute confidence in him, but I think with the standard the guys going there, I think if I can bring condition, I know I'm going to bring a nice shape. I think I'd like to go and push for top five. If I can get that, fantastic. If I can go and hold my own, so be it. I'm not there. I don't think I'm going to go and win. That's not what I'm going for. But I think go and just bring the best package that I have this season, finish on a high, and enjoy myself. Go for some nice food.
Mate, rate it, bro. Rate it, mate. Like I always said, as long as you know that you've done the best you can, all you can, and you bring in the best version of yourself, mate, that's all that matters. And enjoy yourself. That's the main thing. But my man, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you coming on, mate. Mate, now, mate, like I said, mate, I'll be keeping in touch with you over the next few days, mate, and we'll be seeing you for the PCA Universe, mate. And I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best. But
Well,
thank you for coming on, mate.
Before or after. So anyway, take care, boys. Good to see you as always.
Right.
Catch you,
My
guys.
man, thank you.
Right, bye.
Another very good junior, man.
Mate,
I didn't see that update from his story. He looks fucking sick.
mate, he looks really, really good. Really good shape and structure. Just, mate, his legs are ridiculous.
I was gonna say, and he's doing the Stairmaster as well. So it's like that's not fading away then.
I
So
know, mate. He holds so much muscle there. So much muscle. And I wanted to get him on, obviously, because I've been speaking to him a lot recently with, obviously, him competing against Lewis and stuff. And he's had a long season there. And it's actually quite good, actually, because obviously Cam is in a second season where he's in a short prep. And then you've got somebody who's doing literally an 18-week prep compared to, or 13 from his first show. By the end of Logan's, he's done a 27-week prep. So it's good to get a good contrast of people just like, I think everyone will benefit from a shorter prep as long as it's not aggressive and you're like detriment look in terms of muscle mass and performance. But if you start at a lean set point, I think 90% of people will benefit from a shorter prep. If you're enhanced anyway, if you're natural, obviously a longer duration prep is going to be better because obviously you can maintain performance, etc., and slowly bring down that rate of loss. But with most people, you'll find that now they are enjoying like these 16 to 18-week preps so they can
I think when it is your first season, it is important to just allow for extra time.
Most definitely. I think that's the most important.
You genuinely don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, most important thing. Most important. If you can have time where, and like I said, if you can get the situation where I did with Lewis, where I was like 7 or 8 weeks out with him and he's ready, and then I can trial peak him, high days, diet breaks, whatever. You're in an ideal scenario, really. So I'd always say
it's similar with what I'm doing with Alex, mate. Like,
yeah, mate. I was just about to say with Alex, dug him hard.
Alex is about, I think he's 4 weeks out this weekend, and like we're just constantly refit. He's at a point where he's pretty. I don't think he's going to get any leaner than this. Like like barely. He'll get a little bit more off, but it won't be huge. Well, we're just in a point where we can just feed him.
Man.
Cardio's out. Cardio's been out for a couple of weeks now. Steps are coming down. Weight's still dropping. Food's going in. Food's going higher. Like, bro, he's in the perfect position. And that is for someone who's never prepped before, and he's someone that I didn't have for like off season beforehand either. Allowing that extra time has allowed us to get where we need to and give us time to sort of allow for fuck ups. Allow for fuck ups.
Mate, exactly. Because at the end of the day, mate, it's your first prep as well. And you're going to have, and you'll look back I look back at Lewis's prep and I do things differently. And I think if you're a coach like that, where you think, okay, I could have done that differently, whatever, but you've given yourself that time in the first place to do that. So it warrants that. As long as you're bringing him 100%, I think time on your first, and that's what you've literally just experienced there through that. You've got somebody going through their first prep who's doing 27 weeks, which I'd highly recommend doing a longer prep for your first time, having that time just to give yourself time to fuck up. And then you've got somebody who has learned from that mistake previously, where they've had their first show, they had an extended prep, and they had to wait 4 weeks. They gained loads because they were probably in a hole of fatigue from prepping for too long. And then he's learned from that. And then he's done like a 16 to 18-week prep now, where he's 13 weeks from his first show, and then he's 18 weeks total by the time he comes to the PCA Universe. But it's all about learning what's best for you. And the quicker you can learn that, especially as a junior, and you can see, oh, I might actually benefit from doing a 24-week prep. I really enjoyed it, did this. Then it's all about gathering data for what's you specific, but you do see a lot of people sort of going to the shorter preps now. But I think if it's your first time competing, definitely give yourself more time than what you think, because you need to get leaner than what you think.
100%.
And it's always,
it's very
always,
true. It's
mate,
very
you
true.
always need to lose more than what you think. I did not think when I started my prep that I need to lose as nearly 70 pounds, but I did. So it's just one of those things, mate. But with that being said, mate, how are you? I think we'll keep doing these, mate. How are you getting on? Obviously, you had
Good,
some
bro.
deserved time away.
Bro, it was beautiful. Like the thing is, I like holidays, obviously, but I think long holidays, I get bored quite quickly. Um, like I like the time away, but I think too much, I get way too bored. So like originally, we planned this trip to be 9 days. And then we also got a puppy. The people who we were getting the puppy off were like, we need to go back to work and we can't actually hold him until the 28th. So we were like, okay, we'll cut the holiday short. So we'll come back. We'll be there for like, I think what was it? We flew on the Sunday. So we were there Sunday evening, all of Monday, all of Tuesday, flew back Wednesday. So there's enough time to just get there, chill, relax, eat some nice food, like genuinely just actually just breathe.
Mhm.
Came back, picked up our puppy, and it was like I came back refreshed. Like I took a few days off before Spain and then didn't train when we were in Spain, and I come back and I got back into training today. Um, onto a new split, everything feels good, everything feels fresh, like
Mate,
good spot to be in.
I completely agree, mate. I went to Rome for like, I think it was 4 whole days, and that's all I needed.
That's
I was
enough.
there like,
That's enough.
I was like, mate, what am I going to do now? I've done everything I need to do. And
Exactly.
it makes you want to go actively back. If I mate, I'm the same as you, mate. Charlotte could probably lie. She wants to do activities, but she can lie on a beach all day. I cannot lie on a beach all day, mate. No chance. I can lie there for a couple hours max before
Yeah,
I've got
yeah,
I cannot do that for 3 days straight. No chance. 3 days for me is four max for me, and I'm happy to go. If I have a couple of days off the train before, go out there, have a good week off of train together, come back refreshed. What like I just can't do 9 days somewhere. Just can't do it.
It's in my head when we booked it at the start. I was like, "Wait, yes, do it." And then the closer we got to, I was like, 9 days is a lot. Like,
Yeah, mate.
I will get bored quite quickly.
It's the third. It's a third of a month. It's a week and a half,
Yeah,
mate. So it's like
it's a lot.
think about it. It gets quite monotonous again. Like you know,
Yeah.
I like my routine. Mate, you know, we like our routines, and we just get back into routine. We're back, new split. Dog's here.
Oh,
We've had
bro.
some time away. We're feeling refreshed. You know the drill. So, mate,
Even like we even tried to stick to the routine out there. To be fair, we did. To be fair, like
but you will do. You will do,
with
mate, because
with
that's what we do.
with prep clients, like I was like, well, I need to be up at this time to do his check-in anyway. So I was like, sound. So we stuck to that sort of routine, and then with meals, we kind of just split it to like 2 to 3 main meals a day, and then sort of like snacky foods. Um, and like we did so much walking. We were like averaging about 20K steps a day.
Yeah, man.
Like every in terms of actual bodybuilding, not that we were even focused on it, nothing changed. Like weight sort of stayed the same, so it balanced out with the food we were eating and our expenditure. We actually relaxed, so we came back feeling pretty refreshed. And it was a nice time away.
Mm,
But yeah, coming back to a new split is cool. Like I've never actually done an upper lower split. So going
mate,
into upper lower is cool.
the best split, mate.
So I
And I
went in,
will be,
I did upper today and it felt like really
mate.
fucking fun. Like I enjoyed it a lot. So I'm actually really excited. And we I got my bloods back while I was in Spain, and they were like probably the best bloods I've had. I want to say ever, like since I've been on gear, like the best results. Um, I was so gassed. I opened them like shitting myself. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to.
That you always do, mate.
I was like,
You
I'm gonna
get
have to
the
fix
email.
something.
Get the email. Oh,
I was like, oh mate. So I was opening it, just waiting to be like, oh, I'm gonna have to be off gear for another like 6 weeks to fix whatever's wrong. And then I saw pretty much all greens, and I was like, six at the top. He was like, yeah, good to go. I was like, sweet sound. Uh,
appreciate that,
so the push is starting now. Um, Final push before prep, hopefully, but we're gonna drag
mate.
it out. It'll be about a 20 week push.
Yeah, man.
Try
That's exciting.
get to those 240s, 245.
Yeah, hold for December.
Oh, yeah.
Start of Jan, mate. You know this is exciting, mate. This is good. But honestly, mate, it's good. Upper lower is for me is the best split ever. It just is in terms of frequency, in terms of versatility, in terms of like you can increase how many presses and pulls you can do. You can write your arm work on the lower days, the delt work on the start of lower days. Like you can put calf, like mate, if you want to take away your calf work and put it on the upper, mate, so much you can do.
It works really well.
Um,
And like just looking at it, because I have Ali Fraser does my like programming for me, so I kind of went through it with him, and so essentially I don't mind saying on here, I want to, and I've been looking at trialing Trestolone for a short period of time in this push, because I've never tried it. I've read loads of interesting things about it, seen loads of studies on it. So we're going to try it a couple weeks into the cycle. We're going to try it for like 3 or 4 weeks. So a short exposure. Obviously it's, well, I say obviously, if people don't know, it's like a really good drug for strength, like insanely good for strength. So going to an upper lower split in my head is like, I'm going to be able to get more of the bigger lifts in, but with better like frequency as well. So I think I'll be able to get stronger a lot quicker across the
Yeah.
board, really.
And you're in a position to do so now as well, with like obviously the whole thing that happened post prep,
Yeah.
getting injured. You're in a position now where, because body weight's at a higher set point, you can get away with loading more, as well as obviously with that, eating more, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so you're in a better position to do that for sure. And that, mate, you're going to absolutely skyrocket from what I've heard.
Everyone's telling me. I was like, yeah, I'm going to try this. They were like, mate, get ready to add like at least a plate to 2 plates to every movement. I was like, sick.
Yeah, mate, it is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited to try it. I mean, it's just one of those things. Like I'm just interested by it. So it's sort of like a little personal experiment. But
I've not tried it. From what I've heard, people have said
yeah,
like the same thing, mate. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
yeah.
But now, man, that's good. But I think we should definitely do more. That makes us get a little bit of an insight onto
Yeah.
like, because it just goes to show, mate. Like, you get two juniors there who are going through two different journeys, two different insights. So it's always good. I think we should do. I think we should do that, and then you can get down the line where people can sort of like vote the two people that they want on and stuff. They can sort of
Yeah,
get this person, this person on, mate. Because I love the fact that he's there. Like, yeah, man. I don't want to sound like I'm arrogant, but
but I'm better than them. Sick.
But I'm better than him. I want to
Yeah.
confer something. Well, that's the reason why I wanted to bring him on. So now we'll definitely get another one of them sorted, mate. But it's been a good episode. It's been a good episode for sure. We'll wrap it up there. We're going to get a show day review out of the PCA universe straight away, as always. That'll be up and about. And then after PCA universe, I think there is, I don't know who is on or what
We've
is.
we've got the qualifier on Saturday, then the universe on Sunday, but we'll just do those in one video.
Yeah, we'll do it for
The
PCA universe
the
review.
next two bros show is the hard body, which
That
is
would be good.
yeah. See if Brandon's there binging at the side of the stage.
Maybe. We'll see. Hard body binging at hard body show.
Yeah, could be.
We'll see. And then we've got PCA Hampshire, and then I will be at the PCA Natural show in June, which will be good. At the Natty show. Rocking for the Natties. But thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Give us some feedback as well in terms of what you want to see. Is there certain questions that you want us to ask? Is there a certain format that you want us to do? We just want to get guys on here who are going through prep, going through their experiences through prep, and sort of give you an insight of what you can learn along the way. Because I wish I had sort of got that information when I first started prepping. So, as always, like, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff on YouTube and as well on Spotify. Hit us with the 5-star ratings as always. It means a lot. It doesn't go unnoticed. And tag us on your stories, and we'll speak to you in the next one.